Good evening. Welcome to the Neuse Charter School Board of Directors meeting for August 23rd, 2022. I will call the roll to establish a quorum. Nicole is not here. Michelle is not here. Robbie is not here. Jason.
Here.
Benji.
Here.
And Paul. And I am here. So having established a quorum, I hereby call the Neuse Charter School Board of Directors meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. on August 23rd, 2022. I will now read the ethics statement. Conflict of interest reminder per North Carolina General Statute 138A-15E. Board members are reminded that it is our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and the appearance of conflicts of interest as we handle the work of this board. Does any member of the board know of any conflict of interest or any appearance of conflict with respect to any matters coming before us at this meeting? If so, please state them for the record. If during the course of the meeting you become aware of an actual or apparent conflict of interest, please bring the matter to the attention of the chair. It will then be your duty to abstain from participating in discussion on the matter and from voting on the matter. All right. The reading and approval of June meeting minutes and also of the July special meeting minutes. We can read these aloud or silently, or if everyone has read them, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Move to approve.
Thank you, Paul. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jason. Are there any corrections or any discussion on the minutes? Okay, hearing none. I'm sorry.
For the July special meeting minutes, was those provided to us in the email?
I believe they were both in Nicole's email.
Okay.
Let me make sure. Hold on one second.
I'm just showing the closed meeting and the open meeting minutes.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It was the closed. Yeah.
Closed meeting. Okay.
I'm sorry, Benji. I'm sorry. Yeah, I misspoke. So the June open and closed session minutes. Yeah, we don't have the special meeting minutes. Sorry about that.
No problem. I'm good now.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up. Okay, perfect. So the open and closed session minutes from our June meeting. Any other discussion or questions?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, I will vote. I will call the roll to vote. Jason.
Yes.
Benji.
Yes.
To approve. Thank you. Paul. Okay. And I vote yes to approve the minutes. So they are approved. Okay. We have no public comment. And Dr. Carpenter, I know you're here, but we did not speak at all about any kind of guest presentation. You got any quick words of wisdom for this board?
No, I just found out about the meeting today, so I have made no advanced preparations.
No worries. I thought I would at least open the floor to you. Thank you so much for participating, especially on short notice.
Sure.
Okay. Dr. Blackwell, correspondence from our authorizer?
Yes, we received notification over the summer that our charter is up for renewal in 2024. So we have sent in the information needed to begin that process. There will be a training I will notify the board about once it is scheduled. I believe it will happen sometime in October, and I will need someone from the board to attend that training along with me. So as soon as I find out, I will let you all know. But that was the message from the Office of Charter Schools.
Great. Thank you so much. And that takes us right to your superintendent report.
I'm going to share my screen. I have two things this evening to speak about. It says I can't share my screen.
That's weird.
Let's try it again. Okay, now we're good. The first topic is ADM and enrollment. There was a request for information about student retention in one of our past meetings, and I said I would have more information about that in August, and particularly September, once we know for sure what our number is. But just an update as of yesterday, we budgeted for 916 students, and we budgeted for the per pupil amount of $6,175. The state increased that funding to $6,450. We are currently sitting at about 900 students. With the increase in those funds, it adds almost $149,000 surplus to our budget. So we are looking very good in terms of budgeting and enrollment. We will run our first principal's monthly report. That's how we invoice our counties on September the 7th, which will be day 21. We'll know the actual enrollment number no later than September 12th, and I will share that information with you at the September board meeting. This is a withdrawal data 6-year comparison that Mr. Williams pulled out of PowerSchool. And you can see the bottom number is of most interest. I can see that there were smaller withdrawals until 2021 when it increased to 95, and then it jumped in 21-22 to 192, and it has since gone down this past summer to 122. An interesting point to notice is the 9th grade number. With the implementation of the JCC program, where students are going to leave with more, we've cut that number of withdrawals in half. That was a goal for us in implementing that program, was that we would be able to keep our high school students from 8th to 9th grade. And additionally, in 10th grade, that number also, again, is more than half of what it has been. And again, in 11th grade. So those numbers are encouraging for me to see that our community is responding and is excited about that program. But this is the withdrawal data that had been requested a couple of months back. So I will answer any questions that you all may have about that at this time.
I think that data is really helpful, Dr. Blackwell. Thank you for sharing that. And we're able to see some trends. And obviously, 21-22 was a strange year, and so. But I'm really excited about that 9th grade number. I mean, that is very indicative of people recognizing how big a deal it is that we're partnered with JCC the way we are. And I really appreciate the work that you and your team have done to get that pulled together. So excited to see that in action, and fully anticipate that bottom line will continue to go down. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions, comments?
Okay, I will move on to the second point that I wanted to speak on, and it is about school safety. So we know that the Johnston County Sheriff's Department has provided us with an SRO. His name is Deputy Jason Gooseman, and he has been with us since the first day the teachers came. And his addition to our campus has been exceptional. In addition to his presence on our campus, we do have visits from Lieutenant Mike Wolbert, who oversees the SRO program. And he comes and visits and checks in on us as well. I've received countless comments about how appreciative they are, our families are, to see an increased presence. And so I would definitely want to just recognize again that while the situation we were in with the SRO wasn't necessarily enjoyable, it certainly ended well. So I'm thankful for that. Additionally, we have installed RhinoWare on our doors, and I'll show you this video in just a moment. But in 2018, there was a news article and story on WRAL about a school in Raleigh, actually Zebulon. It was a charter school, and they had installed the first version of this device on their classroom doors. And I remember watching that and thinking that would be a really powerful addition to a school safety program. And when the opportunity presented itself with the excess funds that we had, we were able to revisit that. And it should be said as well that Mr. Bunner in 2018 also saw that article and story and actually reached out to them at that time, but it was not something that they were able to move forward with. So this has also been a wonderful thing for Mr. Bunner to see this come to fruition at Noose. So essentially, I'm going to show you the video of how this works. And I encourage you, if you haven't been by campus, to stop by campus and take a look at it. And I'll answer any questions once we're done.
Hello, my name is Ed Johnson with Campus Safety Products.
Can you hear that?
I'm here to introduce to you the RhinoWare Door Barricade System version 4. The version 4 product is fire, life safety, and ADA code compliant. And the life safety is single motion egress. So with ADA, it's got to be between 34 and 48 inches. So the point of action is right here. You simply lock it down just like that. And once it's locked down, there's no getting in the door. Now with regard to fire and life safety code compliance, single motion egress, which means if an event of a fire, there should be only one single motion to open the door. So you simply turn even though the Rhino is locked down, and so nobody can get in, you can, with one single motion, open the door. It lifts up the device from the floor plate, and so you can evacuate the room in the event of a fire. Also, with fire code compliance, it is NFPA 80 compliant, which means that it can be installed on any fire-rated door up to 90 minutes, whether it's a wood or steel door. Again, you can disengage it just like that. So again, the ADA rod, you simply lock it down. Once it's locked down, there's no getting in the door without a key. Law enforcement does have a special key for the RhinoWare device, so they can unlock the device from outside the room. Again, you just simply, if you want to get out, you simply turn the door handle and it will open the door for you. So one more time. Now make sure also there is a little slot that the device needs to be able to rest behind so that it doesn't involuntarily engage. So make sure that when you're putting it back, it's in its at-rest position is behind that slot. Okay? So very simple. And with this close-up, I'm going to use the ADA rod and engage it just like that. It's that simple. And then to leave the room if you want to, you simply turn the door handle and you can exit the room. Thank you very much. You've just seen.
All right, I'm going to stop presenting now. Okay. So essentially that is a fantastic addition to our school safety measures that we have on campus. And we are very excited about it. The students have responded really well to it. We've had no issues. I know someone asked, how do you keep the students from playing with it? And we have been very intentional about how we direct them to use it. And in the next couple of weeks, we will have our first active shooter drill, and we will put it into place for that drill so we can get some feedback and continue to improve our school safety measures. Questions?
Do you have like a record that you, like, for instance, with fire extinguishers, you test them every year and you show they're working and in compliance. So is there some kind of record like this too, that you go to every one of the, just get into a habit of every year or every so often having a card somewhere or some kind of thing to make sure that somebody's seen it, they made sure it works, and once semester or whatever.
Yeah, it's a great question. We are actually working with the fire marshal and the fire chief on keeping those devices in compliance and in working condition. So they will be out periodically. They do come out and do our inspection annually, and they've already taken a look at these, but the fire marshal has requested that we keep a couple of different documents on this. One is the training attendees who attended the training. And then our inspections of keeping them. I'm sorry, I cannot. Operation.
I had a question on the special access key. We have a lockbox in-house that the law enforcement, Smithfield, Johnson County, fire marshals all have either lockbox on house or in their vehicle.
Yes, we have. This key is in the Knox box. We also have a key for our SRO and Mr. Bunner, and our academy directors have one as well. Any other questions?
I think this is great. I'm thrilled with the changes that we're making to make the school more secure, and really appreciate all the work that I know has gone on behind the scenes to make all of this happen, from the SRO to this new door system. And so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, we are quite proud of the fact that we were able to put this into place. This device is in the United Nations. It's in Fort Knox. It's in multiple airports across the country. And we're the first charter school in Johnston County to put it into place. So very, very proud of that. Thank you.
That's great.
And that's all I have to report to you all this evening.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And excited that the school year has gotten off to a good start, and sounds like everyone's really excited and things are moving forward. And so thank you for all of that. Moving on to our next agenda item is our financial report, which still has Benji's name on there. And Benji, we need to change that for next month, I know, because Benji is not our treasurer anymore, unless you'd like to do the financial report.
No, I feel like with our new structure, we probably should discuss that and see, does that need to go back to reporting of the budget of the accounts from the school instead of from the, okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think Jason and Melissa have talked about that. Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, me and Dr. Blackwell have emailed back and forth about that. Moving forward, we didn't talk about who was going to give the report this month. We talked about moving forward. So I can either defer to you, Dr. Blackwell, or I can read numbers right off those reports as well.
I'm gonna let you take it tonight if you don't mind.
I thought you might with you're not feeling the best there. So again, the reports are loaded up, and please, Benji, help me if I screw anything up on this. So the cash report, or the cash account that we had, started. This is out of July, so it started at $2.834 million. There was activity through the month of July of $638,797.65. with leaving us a balance at 7/31 of $2.195 million and change. The other, it's the L5 account, or the L4 account that has all of our other revenues in it, started at $8,659,134.89. There was $679,294.73 worth of activity in the month of July, leaving us with a balance of $7,979,389.16 for a 92% left of the budget. So not a ton of activity in the summertime, obviously.
Exactly. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And moving forward, just so I'm clear, and so that the minutes will reflect it, we should have Dr. Blackwell. You will be responsible for doing that moving forward in terms of who will be on the agenda. Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, moving into our standing committee reports. And again, I think Jason hit the nail on the head. Not a lot going on in the summertime, but governance committee, Michelle is not here, but I do not believe that they met. Is that correct, Paul? Do you know? Well, I guess you're not on it anymore, are you? I'm so used to you and Nicole and Michelle. So as far as I know, they didn't meet. Jason, Financial Oversight Committee?
No, we did not meet, but we have exchanged emails about trying to get stuff going for this month.
Perfect. And Benji, Risk Management Committee? Same?
No meeting, but we are scheduled for, I believe it's Monday of next week. Monday at 2:00. So we'll be
Perfect.
meeting then.
All right, wonderful. Okay, well, we'll look forward to hearing from those committees next month. Robbie is not here, but Melissa, did the Ad Hoc Facilities Committee meet? You know?
We met informally. Robbie was here when the RhinoWare was installed, so he got to kind of oversee that, but not a formal meeting. No.
Perfect. Okay, wonderful. Under unfinished business, secondary employment policy, Dr. Blackwell, did you?
I would like to take that off the table. We have reconsidered how we want to approach that, and I'm going to bring a statement that I would like placed in the handbook in September. So
Okay.
we can just take that one off the table.
Perfect. All right, moving on to new business. Removal of individuals on bank account. I see Robbie Taylor's name here. I know we've been going back and forth on all of this. Dr. Blackwell, this is to make sure that we have the right people. So do you know who will be our check signers?
I actually thought I thought it had been taken care of, and then Jason was added as treasurer. So now Jason needs to come off.
Okay, and I think we
On our
did.
minutes, on our minutes from June 28th, it's on the very last page there. Who to move on and who to take off. I think Robbie just had to have the information to provide to the bank of the meeting minutes. I think that was the holdup there. I'm not sure.
Okay.
The issue.
That's what I couldn't figure out.
I think you're right. Yep.
Got it.
Yeah.
Because I thought that we had already voted on this, and I didn't think we were taking Robbie off. So, okay. All right. So now that he has the minutes, we should be good on that. All right. And Benji, you requested 2 agenda items for tonight, the strategic goals and the data dashboard. So I am going to turn it over to you for those 2 topics.
Okay. I'll try to be as brief as possible, but concise. For the strategic goals discussion, just wanted to give a brief feedback and background on that information. Back in the very beginning of 2021, we had strategic planning meetings, reviewed the work of prior teams that NOOS had through the years, looking at the mission, vision, values. Also reviewed Dr. Carpenter, one of his books, The 7 Outs. Team presented and their recommended strategic outcomes for the school back on April the 27th, and the board approved those strategic outcomes at that meeting. Then back in August 4th of last year, we met to discuss the frequency of providing reports, progress updates on those strategic outcomes. We recommended annual revisions to the strategic outcome plan, and now we're 1 year later, so I just wanted to offer a motion to reestablish the ad hoc committee to revise the strategic outcome plan for Neuse Charter School, and that would cover this school year, the 2023 year, as well as longer term items. The last plan covered 3 years worth, so that would be just bringing that team back into place as an ad hoc committee and to update that plan.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was very concise and very, also very complete. So I appreciate that. Do I have a second for his motion?
Second.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, any discussion on reforming that ad hoc committee to review the strategic outcomes and make suggestions in terms of revisions to those? Benji, can you just remind everyone who was on that committee?
Last year it was me, Rodney Dunn, Jane Jackson, Melissa Blackwell, and Dr. Carpenter.
Okay. And I do think that we typically have 2 board members on there. And so and I know you and I would still be on there, and Rodney is still welcome to be on there as a non-board member. I think he brings a lot of knowledge and historical perspective, but I just wanted to put it out there that if Paul or Jason or, Michelle or Nicole who aren't here tonight, or Robbie who aren't here tonight would like to participate in that, is that something, that you would be open to, because I know you chaired the committee.
Yeah, the more the better, up to 3, I guess, to keep us out of the sunshine laws. But
Right.
Just for the committee, or for the committee purposes, 2 as a minimum, 3 as a maximum.
Yes. Yeah.
And anyone that's interested, if they want to speak up, we can add that to our group.
Okay. Well, if if any of the members who aren't here tonight decide to do that, I think we can always vote to add them into the ad hoc committee. But I think for now, if you and I are both on there, we at least have the 2 covered. Okay. Any other questions or discussion before we vote? All right, I will call the roll to vote on the motion to reestablish the strategic planning ad hoc committee to review and revise the strategic outcomes for News Charter School. Jason.
Yes.
Benji.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. So Benji, thank you for bringing that. And if you're willing to serve as chair again, I think if you want to just reach out to the current committee members and to set up a meeting, I think that'd be great.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, moving on to the other topic that you wanted to discuss tonight, the data dashboard.
All right, a little bit similar, but a little bit different from the last topic. Last week, I shared with all the school board members an email I received from North Carolina Association of Public Charter Schools, and that article was written by the National Charter School Resource Center. The title of that article was The Role of Charter School Board in Monitoring School Performance. And it talked about some information there. The board holds the charter. At the end of the day, the board is responsible for ensuring that the school fulfills both the mission and the goals in the charter. And hallmarks of high-performing charter schools include setting goals that are meaningful for the board and the organization, monitoring the progress, and making data-driven decisions when the performance is not on track. A couple more highlights. One of the board's main duties is to monitor the organization's performance against the stated goals, making sure the goals that are laid out in the charter and the board goals and the school leader goals are taken care of and monitored and followed. And last, the recommendation from this article was to have a data dashboard for the board to adopt that shows some standardized reporting. And it said the dashboard should include academic, operational, and financial performance metrics or goals. And it should also have mission-specific performance metrics and the desired outcomes. And those should include both the leading as well as lagging indicators. So that was what I wanted to just bring forth to the group. Every data dashboard is different. The school's charter, the school's mission are all different. And testing is different from state to state. So each dashboard will vary according to those objectives that we're trying to reach. But the article also said a few things are universal, and that is having the student enrollment and also having teacher retention. So I think this will be an effective tool for accountability for monitoring the school's performance in alignment with our annual goals. And it would also be good to have both monthly and quarterly performance trends that we could look at. So I would like to move that we empower the strategic planning ad hoc committee to develop a data dashboard specific to the mission and performance that was needed for the new charter school.
Okay, thank you for that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, discussion, questions, comments, thoughts? Yes, Dr. Carpenter.
Later on, I can connect up with Benji if he wants to. There's a vendor out of Florida, I think it is, and they do a real nice job taking your data and making this dashboard. I've got some clients using it, and it's very thorough, and it does exactly what Benji is describing. So it would save you all from obviously there's a cost because it's a vendor product, but it would save you all from having to reinvent the wheel. So I'd be glad to connect you up with those people if you want later on, Benji.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Carpenter. That actually sort of gets to my question in terms of and maybe you haven't gotten this far down the road, Benji, so I may be putting cart before the horse, but just trying to understand the technology and platform and all of that. Is that something that you anticipate or expect the ad hoc committee to investigate? Or is there something that you already sort of had in mind?
I don't really have anything in mind other than just keeping it simple. That's my perspective. So if it's an Excel spreadsheet that we can show, January, February, March, just to show, results as well as trends, I think that would be, sufficient. If there's a nice, formal display option that Dr. Carpenter is discussing, we can evaluate that and see if it's worth the extra value, extra cost. So
Okay.
the actual metrics that, fill up and populate that spreadsheet is to be determined, and the reporting tool to be determined, but just simple as possible, but effective.
Okay. Thank you. That's helpful. And I'm assuming that one of the other things that the committee would look into would be sort of frequency of adding the metrics and who would be responsible for the different metrics and all of those things as well.
I would think so. Some of the metrics are going to be annual, some of them will be monthly, some will be quarterly. But I think that would be dependent on the metric that we're evaluating, and it would be up to the committee and ultimately up to Dr. Blackwell to decide.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions or comments, thoughts? All right, hearing none, I will call the roll to vote on the motion on the table to empower the strategic planning ad hoc committee to investigate, consider, and make recommendations for a data dashboard for the board. Jason.
Aye.
Benji.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Motion carries. Thank you for bringing both of those to the board, Benji. Really appreciate it and look forward to the ad hoc committee working to establish the not only updated strategic outcomes, but hopefully a really robust dashboard that'll help us all stay on top of very complex data from the school. So, thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Ongoing board development and self-assessment. We don't have anything there. We do need to move into closed session for personnel discussion. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to move into closed session for personnel discussion per North Carolina General Statute 143-318.11A6.
So moved.
Thank you, Benji. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, let's vote to move into closed session. Jason.
Aye.
Benji.
Aye.
Paul.
Aye.
And I vote aye. Okay, we are back in open session and we have our quorum. I will now entertain a motion for the personnel requests made by Dr. Blackwell in closed session.
I would like to make a motion to approve the new hires as recommended by Dr. Blackwell in closed session.
Thank you, Benji. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, so I will call the roll to vote on the motion on the table to approve the new hires as requested by Dr. Blackwell in closed session. Jason,
Aye.
Benji,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
and I will vote aye as well. The new hires that you've requested are officially approved.
Thank you.
And having completed everything on our agenda for tonight, I hereby adjourn this meeting of the News Charter School Board of Directors at 7:21 p.m. on Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next month in person.
Okay.
So,
Thanks.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
You better.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.